Alldus podcast is brought to you by Alldus International, supplying your expert AI and digital transformation staffing needs across the US and Europe. Today, you are listening to our AI in Action series, where leading minds in AI from across the world share their story, success, and advice. AI in Action cuts through the hype and explores the true impact of artificial intelligence in our world today.
You're listening to AI in Action. I'm your host, JP Valentine. Our guest today is Noam Fine. Noam is the head of AI at Vonage. Noam, welcome to the show.
Thank you. It's great to be on the show. Thanks for inviting me.
Of course, it's our pleasure. So, Noam, let's start with yourself. Can you give us a brief background of your journey through technology, from where you got started, some of the roles you've held along the way, and taking us up to today as the head of AI for Vonage?
So I've been an entrepreneur for the past 14, 15 years, something like that. That's when we've started our first company. We've always dealt with data and what we can get out of data and what type of insights and products and services we can build on top of it. 14, 15 years ago, AI was there, but the tools weren't as available and it wasn't as popular, and machine learning wasn't there or not in the way that it was. But we started with search algorithms and recommendation systems. That was our first company. From there, we moved to the advertising space. And there also, that was a pretty exciting space in the sense that you're exposed to millions of users daily. You see the data that they generate. That gives you a lot of insights and ideas. Then we moved to our third company, Sensia, started applying machine learning and mechanisms from the artificial intelligence space to understand the company was doing contextual awareness. So the idea was to understand user behavior in the real world based on data that we're seeing through the mobile phone. That company was acquired by a US-based company, IM+. So that was very exciting. And then we moved to conversational AI with our company Over AI, which was acquired around 2 years ago by Vonage. And that led us to be part of Vonage for the past 2-something years. So overall, a pretty exciting journey. We saw the technology evolve from something that was still in its very initial phases into something that gained a lot of popularity and actually a game changer in the tech world and how you look at data, up to the point where where it's mainstream, I would say, where we depend on these kind of technologies and where there is a lot of companies out there that can provide out-of-the-box solutions for you to start relatively easily to what it was before.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, thank you for that, Noam. I appreciate you sharing your journey, and it's great to hear how you've been in the AI space for several years now, creating businesses and identifying new opportunities to use this technology, which leads nicely into the formation of Over AI, which is now part of Vonage. So taking a step back for people listening who are not familiar with Vonage as a company, tell us all about Vonage, who you are as a business, what the mission of the organization is, and then give us some insight into what role AI plays.
So Vonage is a pretty exciting company in the communication space. Our vision is to become and deliver an integrated communication platform that allows the acceleration of the world's ability to connect. Vonage is exciting, and that was what I was excited about when I first saw Vonage, in the fact that it actually covers the full spectrum of all the communication tools and media that are out there. So Vonage has unified communication, one does contact center, and we have communication APIs. That's not typical for every communication company out there. And when we saw Vonage, we thought, wow, that creates a lot of opportunities to innovate and to create new kind of services and bring them to life.
So you obviously joined Vonage as the founder and CEO at Over AI, and you now lead the AI practice at Vonage. Can you give us some insight into what your role entails, the makeup of the AI team, and a typical project that you and your team is working on?
Yes, when at the point where we joined Vonage, not specific to Vonage, but overall, if you're looking at the entire communication industry, it was more focused on providing the right tools to communicate So like a practical approach, making sure that you're providing something that is very stable, very secure, that works, and that allows customers to communicate with companies in an efficient way. When we were looking at this space, what we saw is actually media pipes. When within these pipes, you can see a lot of data. And when you look into the data, you can actually build new kind of services that deliver other kinds of value beyond the usability, beyond stability, beyond efficiency. So we joined Vonage with that in mind. OverAI was mainly focused around conversational or simple words bots. We were unique in the space because when we started OverAI, we were focusing on voice. We believe in voice. We think it's a prominent channel. We think it's how people communicate naturally and how people will continue to communicate. And voice is a challenge when you're doing conversational AI for many reasons. But that also created a very interesting fit with. We came in with primarily focusing on conversational AI, and brought that to be available basically across the different services that Vonage has. So both for our unified communication customers, to the CC space, and for our API customers. And with that, it actually expanded into many more opportunities that exist here at Vonage, and that allows us to add more value for our customers and innovate around video, again around voice and text analytics and so on. So right now, Vonage AI is actually in charge of delivering these services that are built on top of machine learning and AI to every product that Vonage now offers.
You are listening to the Alldus podcast. When you're looking to scale your team, or if you are interested in showcasing your company in a future episode, reach out today. Or if you're in the market for a new role, visit our website to view open positions, www.alldus.com.
Staying on that topic of the various products that Vonage offers, give us a sense of just how impactful this can be for companies, and where are you guys seeing the most interest and traction across your product suite from customers from all sizes?
So the value is everywhere that you look, you can see value, and you can see incredible value. I think when you look at the actual usability of the communication services, this is now a commodity and a competitive market, and something that maybe the competition is more around pricing. When you look at the kind of value that you can float through AI, it goes much further. And these examples might seem trivial, but when you think of the impact, they're huge. When you think of conversational AI and tools that allows you to automate, to allocate your human resources in a contact center to where they're really needed, and replace them with automation, you can allow your customers to create much better customer experiences, and with that increase revenue. On the other side, you allow your customers to significantly, dramatically reduce costs in their contact center, and that has incredible value. When you're looking at analytics and you're able to allow customers to understand what their conversations with customers look like, how are the sales process, is it efficient, or can you make it more efficient? What makes it more efficient, and how can you sell more, or how can you make your customers happier? That is dramatic. We strongly believe in turning notifications into conversations, and this is part of the focus that we now have. We are sending out, and our customers through our service are sending out billions of notifications daily through SMS or in the different messaging platforms, most of the times without the ability to interact. So it's a one-way street in that. We allow this to be transformed into a conversation, and all of a sudden you have a relationship with that customer that you're interacting with, and that allows you to provide better service, to upsell, and create new opportunities. All of that has tremendous value that goes way beyond your ability to connect.
So Noam, I want to spend some time now understanding the current team, the culture, and what sort of roles exist at Vonage. You've obviously gone in as the leading initially the AI practice, but it's growing all the time. I know from prior conversations that we've had. Can you give us some insight into what the current AI data team looks like, and the makeup of different roles, and then looking ahead, where you see the team growing to over the next year or so?
Sure. I can't actually speak if what our team looks is typical for other companies or not, but it is a very exciting team. I think part of it is maybe thanks to the fact that we came in as a startup and we were able to maintain that startup mentality. So if you look at what's most interesting is first the array of roles that you have in our team, but even more the way that we interact and the synergies that we have between these roles. So we have research in our team, so data scientists. We have full stack developers. We have front end developers that are focusing on floating the kind of insights that we have in a visual way for our customers. So we want to make everything very accessible. We have conversation designers, so people that are not engineers but understand the technology, the capabilities, and are able to transform this into what businesses actually. And we have product. But like I said, what's most exciting is the way that we interact. The engineers understand the business and the human need behind the technologies that we offer. And non-engineers in our team have a very good understanding of the technology. And that creates an amazing synergy that drives innovation forward. I think that's one of the things that I'm most proud of.
Final question for me, Noam. When you look at the journey of Vonage since you've joined and the growing space for conversation and voice in AI, what are you most excited about for the future of Vonage?
When we started over AI, that was our first encounter with the communication space. And you're not used to think about this space as an exciting space at all. But then we found out that this is an incredible opportunity to innovate. Two years forward, or three, and here comes COVID, and all of a sudden, maybe the world's largest innovation and fastest growing vertical is communication. And COVID, I think, just surfaced and made it very obvious that this is a critical tool, a critical ability that every organization not only needs, but needs to have an optimal way. And everything about it can improve. The quality of your communication, the outcomes that you can expect from your communication, how you communicate. I think we're only scratching the surface here when you're looking at how video calls are being done today. So even though it's become something that's very popular and easy to use, it's still very much the same as it was. But you're starting to see all kinds of innovation that are powered by AI, like new ways to consume the video feed itself. Maybe break down the image into different frames and create a new video experience. Across every aspect of communication, there's innovation coming, and it is already dramatically changing the way that the world works. And I think we'll see much more dramatic changes coming with it. So super exciting. Maybe one of the most exciting verticals to be in right now.
I completely agree. Noam, thank you so much for your time today. We really appreciate you coming on to the podcast, sharing your own story, your background of continuous entrepreneurship, and then talking all about Vonage. It sounds like an incredible company with a great mission, and you guys are on the bleeding edge of this technology. So we're excited to see what you can accomplish in the years ahead, and we wish you and the team at Vonage the best of luck with everything. Thank you.
Thank you very much. It was a pleasure.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the Alldus Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review. We are available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and any Android podcast of choice. You can also head over to our website, www.alldus.com, to listen to more podcasts, view our open roles, and stay up to date with industry news. Thanks for listening, and stay tuned for more great episodes coming very soon.